Welcome, adventurers. Welcome, adventurers, to a new episode of Thumbsticks Adventurers. I'm Kagros.
I'm IDK.
And I am Juicy Samples.
So, we got episode 16 for you today, the PlayStation State of Play, February 2021, where we will be watching the PlayStation State of Play that has come out today. Before we get started, I just want to give a quick shout out. If you're watching this on Twitch, you can find our old episodes on our YouTube channel. Otherwise, if you're watching this on YouTube, we do stream this on... It's Thursday for today, but normally we stream on Wednesdays at around 8. And for both of these sites, our user is Thumbstick Adventurers. So anyways, let's jump into it. I've been avoiding spoilers for this all day. I hope you two have as well.
Yes, it's been so hard. Like you see on the screen, it says 2 p.m. PST, which we've been waiting for at least 6 hours. So, you know, IDK is known in our group to be the queen of spoilers.
Yes.
If you don't even know, like, he's not only the king, he's also the queen. He's everything in between.
The kingdom of spoilers here. Even I have done my best to avoid spoilers.
I heard you've done your best, but I'm pretty sure you know something already, don't you? Don't you, IDK?
I might.
So,
by accident. I might.
I'm not by accident.
Yes,
so,
by accident.
Kagros, what do you think the state of play will be about?
Dude, I have no idea. Like what? Ratchet and Clank for sure. Ratchet and Clank for sure. I'm pretty sure Ratchet and Clank. Because I think the Ratchet and Clank is actually like the thumbnail. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Ratchet and Clank. What else is releasing in the next couple days?
So the main question is, are we going to see games that we have already heard of? Or are we going to see some new games in this?
I think we're getting release dates. We're getting release dates, and they're going to show off one new game, one new thing we haven't heard about yet. But I think mainly it's going to be release dates. I don't know if you guys remember, but when we were drafting a fantasy league, nothing had a release date. Like there are very few things that actually have hard release dates. I hope, for the sake of my fantasy league, that they do announce the God of War release date today. That's what I want.
That might be nice. I mean, I'd be a little afraid though if they announced the release date and it's like January 1st.
No! It has to be 2021. Has to be 2021.
I'm on the same boat, Kagros. I do want to see God of War, and I think we will see the release date of 2021. So I'm still hopeful. I think it still will come out this year. But other than that, any high hopes for this state of play? Anything?
Let me take a look at our fantasy league.
I hope. Well, I already know the release date for Ratchet and Clank.
That's next month, right? It's in March, right?
No. Ratchet and Clank's not coming out until June.
Oh, okay.
Sadly, and I already know that they're not going to have a special bundle for it. Like, there's no special like Ratchet and Clank PS5. Unfortunately.
Okay, hold on. I think the headline of this state of play is going to be Horizon Forbidden West.
Okay.
I think Horizon Forbidden West will be the headliner for this. That was the first pick of our draft. That was the first pick of our. I think that was God of War Ragnarok. What else? Anything else? Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Just an aside, Kagros, can you check to see if your mic setting
okay, let me check.
And Discord swap back to your camera because you're spiking a bit.
Let me check.
He sounds pretty good to me, but I haven't checked.
No, it is the webcam, or I am using my microphone.
Using your microphone? Okay.
Actually, hold up. Let me. Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
Are you all ready to be impressed by the state of play?
I'm keeping I am curbing my enthusiasm because first of all, it's only 33 minutes, and Nintendo's Direct was pretty lackluster in my opinion.
I was gonna say. I was just saying, Nintendo had the bar pretty damn low. Sorry,
pretty low.
Sony can only go up from there.
Yeah, I agree.
If Sony puts a release date on at least one of their big marquee games, they win.
Please,
God
of War! God of War!
If release date, if Horizon Zero West gets a release date, if some other game we're not aware of gets a release date, they win. That's it. They beat Nintendo.
Has to be God of War. Has to be God. Please, God of War. Please be 2021. Please. My first pick in the draft. Please. I'm praying, guys.
Honestly, I hope they don't show very much of Ratchet and Clank, just because it's coming out, and we know it's going to be 90 plus. So, got nothing to worry about.
I don't know if it'd be 90 plus, but recently I've been going through the original HD trilogy on PS3. Which has been a real interesting thing, because going from this controller back to this one has been very strange. But I've gotten used to it, and it brings me back to my old days of like childhood. But playing through those games and seeing like everything fitting together, story wise, and what little I know of Rift Apart. I'm so hoping so badly that a lot of things that like got left behind in these old games, like storylines and things that just sort of like dropped off and died, will be resurrected, or at least hinted at with Easter eggs. So if we get a little more tidbits and story towards that, I'd be on cloud 9. I'd be so happy. But I'm not expecting that, because they did say Rift Apart would be a suitable place for someone new to the series to jump into, which is a little disappointing, but they did also say it was a continuation of Into the Rift, which was like the last mainline canon game to come out. So,
speaking of hopes and wishes, do you guys want to wager a crazy bet? Like, for example, my crazy bet is we're gonna see Master Chief.
Get your bet! What? You're never gonna win that. I'll take that bet. We are not gonna see Master Chief. I'm willing to bet $1. So I'm willing to make the bet. Like, if we see Master Chief, I'll give you $1,000. If we don't see, I'll take $1.
But everyone else has to give a crazy bet. Okay, not a bet, but just like a crazy wish, like see Master Chief.
Master Chief.
All right, you want to hear my crazy wish?
Yes.
A fourth Infamous game, a new Infamous game. That is what I want to see, but that's not going to happen because Ghost of Tsushima literally released last year, right? Ghost of Tsushima was last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So it's very unlikely they're going to announce another Infamous game. So what else?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's
really
a pretty crazy bet.
Okay, no. Here's my crazy bet that might happen. New Kingdom Hearts game revealed today.
All right.
New Kingdom.
I was literally gonna say that too, but no, I was thinking about this all day. And wait, what if they have a new trailer for Spyro 4, or what if they announced Spyro 4? It's been hinted at in Crash Bandicoot 4. There was a Spyro like inflatable on the beach you can beat up, and like in the secret lab levels you see sheep just pouring over the walls, and that's a staple from Spyro. So like, if you're bringing back the Ratchet and Clank and you brought back Crash Bandicoot, and you have a studio that did the remasters for Spyro, I think this would be the right time to be like, hey everybody, Spyro 4 coming soon.
Right, IDK. It's plausible. It's plausible, but it's not crazy.
Here's my crazy one. Okay? Here's my crazy one. You ready for this? Sly Cooper Revival.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really crazy. That's really crazy.
Yeah, that one I have zero idea who would develop it. The last time like Sly 4 came out, there's already a fourth Sly game, but it was done by Sanzaru, and most people who are fans of the series have said the game was garbage. It was my first entry into the series, and I loved it to death. But that's because I have zero knowledge of the previous games. I just jumped in, was a raccoon thief, traveling through time. It was fun. But according to the fans of that series, it basically was like spitting on them.
Let's
So-
hope that the crazier it gets, we'll have Spyro, Crash, and Sly Cooper in one game. So
Alright, let's get enough teasing. Let's get started. Enough teasing.
All Stars 2.
are you guys ready?
Yeah, enough teasing. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's
Yeah.
do it. Is it starting?
Yeah, it's starting. I see it.
Great.
Here we go.
The PS5, which no one has.
There's some very unexpected developments in your future.
Oh, yeah?
man.
Shocking events.
Oh, yeah?
Change the course of your life.
There. I see Crash Bandicoot.
That last part might have been a hair dramatic, but there's lots of awesome updates and additions coming to the Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time experience on PlayStation 5.
Wait, do you have this, IDK? Have you played this before?
Producer at Toys for Bob.
No,
I'm
no.
going to give you the
I-
feature rundown on Crash Bandicoot
I
4
watched
for
a
PS5.
playthrough of
That
it.
includes 4K
It's-
60 frames per second.
it's balls to the wall
adaptive
hard.
triggers, 3D audio.
I would not play it.
I mean, that sounds like a game right up your alley, IDK. Frustration.
Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About
No,
Time.
no.
We find the evil masterminds, Neocortex and Dr. Entropy, escaping a once thought inescapable interdimensional prison, leaving giant
No,
holes in the
getting-
universe.
Getting the platinum for this game is a nightmare.
IDK, not everything's about platinum, my friend.
We designed Crash Bandicoot 4 to leap off
Just getting
the
100% is a nightmare.
bold, vibrant environments and
Just beat the
characters.
game for the story.
Crash Bandicoot has always looked pretty suave. But
I do
one
wanna play this
places
game.
spinning heads
It's
in
very
near
pretty.
4K at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
fun.
With the weight of the universe
Actually, do you think they're gonna show anything for Persona? Nah, definitely not Persona. Persona re-released. Never mind.
Loading screens. The DualSense wireless controllers bring adaptive triggers to your fingertips, so you can feel the blast of Neocortex's DNA-changing ray gun, or feel the grip when you grapple a ton's hookshot. Hold on tight when you feel the boost of Crash's jet
you're wasting
force,
precious
and really
minutes.
feel the suck when you vacuum his dingo dog. Looking to get fully immersed in the Crash Bandicoot universe? Crank it up to 11 and take your audio into an all-new dimension. With
Yeah, this is a waste of time.
Yeah.
achieving the infamous 100.
This game is already released, right? It's already released, right?
Of a true
Yeah.
Bandit.
Yeah. So why? We don't want to. We don't want to.
Marsupial loses way. Leverage PlayStation 5 activity
Oh, boy.
cards to track your progress and hit your goals for things like time trials.
I don't got a PS5, man. You won't let me buy it.
I know, exactly.
I bet Entropy wishes he had that.
So far,
Even
this
bring
is
your
worse than
incomplete
Nintendo.
save
Yeah, Nintendo started with Smash. They started with Smash. They did the big announcement right from the get go.
On the PS4 version of the game, an upgrade option is available. Check out the PlayStation blog for full details. Whether it's your first playthrough or your 100th, there's no better time to experience.
Yeah,
Crash
100.
Bandicoot 4
That'll
It's
definitely
About
happen
Time
when you try to
on
complete this
PlayStation
game.
5.
Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. All right, it's about time. Let's start.
Welcome back, Crash. The gang's all here on today's new edition of State of Play. We've got some great updates lined up for you.
Updates.
Let's check out the latest on an eagerly
never
anticipated
mind.
game coming to the
What is this?
PS4 console this spring from
Reversal.
PlayStation Studios.
Did someone draft this?
Hey everyone, we at Housemark are excited to give you this
I don't think
sneak
so.
peek at Returnal.
Oh, Returnal.
Yeah.
In
Let me see.
Returnal, you will play as Celine, an Astra scout, who crash lands on an alien planet, Atropos, after receiving a mysterious signal, White Shadow. Players will explore this inscrutable, dark planet in search for answers.
Yeah, no one drafted
to
Returnal.
unfold mysteries, which may point to a larger force at play. Dashing and quickly maneuvering your way above and around enemies is key to survival in Returnal.
Oh, got hit
So, Dark Souls in space
with guns.
with guns. Everything's Dark Souls these days.
Yeah, you gotta make it grim, dark and hard for the experienced gamers.
With the large variety of enemies and the vast number of unique movesets each possess.
Oh man, look at those tentacles, guys! Look at all those tentacles.
Challenging no matter what
I can see Rule 34 already for this game.
Your favorite IDK, Tentacles. This is the third-person shooter Hades.
Every time you die and restart, the world will change. The
What?
map will be different.
That's-
Enemies will appear in new locations and in differing numbers. So
is
you
it like
can
Hades?
fast and adapt.
Sounds like it.
Here you can see the
Little
use
bit.
of the lightning alt fire, which is great for crowd control. This is one of many alt fires that you can acquire in the game.
This looks interesting. If you have randomized maps when you die.
I mean, I guess depends
You
how
will stumble across mysterious
complex the maps
devices
are.
that can grant rewards to
True.
the player. These will
like,
vary
it can be
from
really
weapons,
frustrating to die after
consumables,
clearing a
and
huge
upgrades.
map and then having to redo the whole thing again.
Playstyle and make each cycle feel unique.
I'm a little surprised with how much talking there is.
Besides the intense combat,
Like-
internal
These aren't trailers. I feel like it really is a showcase. It really is a showcase.
is the story
Yeah,
of Celine.
it's a gameplay
As we venture
explanation.
Deeper and deeper into Atropos.
Actually, it's probably better this way, in my opinion. You get a better idea about the game, especially if you're interested in buying it.
That can't be here. I think I am reliving my memories in that house, but
Actually, this is better. A showcase is better because like they'll put out trailers regardless anyway, right? So if you want to see that, they'll release them.
captured. But I can remember the torment, feeling like I was losing my mind.
Why is the light on?
No comfort here. No safe space.
All right, boss battle, boss music. Why is boss music playing?
Oh,
Here we go.
Exactly as I left it.
Too scary. No.
No.
don't go in the house. Don't go in the
Are we getting a
house.
release date?
Whatever you
Release
do,
date?
Don't go in the house.
Release date? Where's the release date?
Returnal lands
oh.
on April 30th, and it's
April
developed
30th.
by the talented team at Housemark.
Yeah, it got delayed. It
Wow.
was supposed to come out
Next, let's take a
in.
closer look at a high-impact
February?
new PS4 game called Knockout City.
Knockout City.
PS4?
PS4 game.
Yo, I'm on PS5. What's going on?
Wait.
Hi, I'm Josh from Bellin Studios. We're an indie developer based in upstate New York, and we recently announced Knockout City, a team-based multiplayer.
I think this was shown in the Nintendo one, right?
Rival crews settle their scores with epic dodgeball
Might have been.
battles.
Looks familiar.
I have no idea.
It's like
It
Rocket.
is easy to
No.
pick up and play, but there's a lot of depth here for those who've got the skills. In our 1v1 face-off mode, you'll go head-to-head in a constantly shrinking battleground, relying on your reflexes.
Alright, yeah, I don't want to look it up
and opponent.
because
A well-timed catch powers up the ball, making it easier to land a hit.
That's
Use
kind of
trick
cool.
shots to lob a ball over a ledge or hook it around a corner.
Well, I wonder how you control it.
To mess up your opponent's timing and knock them out before they can recover. When you're in a tough spot with a ball flying your way, a last-second dodge is the difference between getting knocked out and staying in the fight. Keep your wits about you and outplay your opponent to bring home a win. Let's jump into Team KO, our 3v3 mode.
Okay.
Teamwork makes the dream work in Knockout City. If your crew is outmatched, a well-coordinated team can still dominate. We're playing in Back Alley Brawl, a new map that you'll find in our upcoming crossplay beta. The special ball for this match
Beta,
is the
huh?
Sniper Ball, which locks onto targets from far across the map and wham! You can take them out before they have a chance to react. Beyond special balls, each map features a unique mechanic. In Back Alley Brawl, you can hop into a tube and make a quick getaway or use them to sneak
Damn,
up
this
on
is
your
like this is still like a third-person shooter.
You can literally become the ball,
Yeah.
a new weapon for your teammate.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Or
It's like
let's go.
dodgeball on steroids.
Yeah.
Launch them high into the air with an ultimate throw, and
Actually,
they'll
it's
land in a
kinda
huge
cool.
instant KO explosion.
You know what they need? They need a Mario Kart Battle
The team here
Royale.
at Valentine
Yes, they do.
building this world
That-
over
that's
the
what-
last 4 years.
I don't know why, but this
Knockout
reminds me
City
of
is
Mario
coming out
Kart,
May
like the
21st,
battle
and
mode.
we'd love
Yeah.
to help
Oh,
with
yeah.
the final stretch of development. Rally your crew and sign up for our crossplay beta at knockoutcity.com to play early on PlayStation.
Like, it looks,
See you soon, brawlers.
like, no offense, like, it looks too simple. I don't know, there's just, I want big explosions. I want blood.
I want the ball to smack him in the face and give him a bloody nose.
It's
Time
EA
for
too.
something new.
Interesting.
Here's your first look at an upcoming PS5 game from the team
PS5.
at Slow Clap.
Come on.
Upcoming from where?
Slow clap. What the?
Okay.
Day one. They got my people.
Yes. Is it your people though? Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. These graphics look pretty dated, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if this is a VR game.
Maybe, maybe.
And we're just seeing it from third-person view. Okay,
What the?
got beat, now engaged.
Yeah, it looks it probably is a VR game.
I don't think so.
I mean, they probably would have said it's VR, but he's aging.
Sifu?
Yes.
Master.
That was the
guess
debut
it's not a VR
of
game,
Sifu, coming to the
but it's-
PS5 console later this year.
But the graphic, I don't like the
An
art.
update on Solar Ash, an epic new PS5
Oh,
adventure
Solar
from
Ash.
I think I've heard about this.
She's flying through space. No, she is. What is it? Rollerblading?
She's skating through
Yeah,
space.
skating is the word I was looking for.
I'm Alex Preston, creative director of Heart Machine. You might know us as the team behind Hyperlight Drifter. Today, I'm here to show you the first peek at gameplay for our new title, Solar Ash.
Cool.
Solar Ash is a huge, stylish 3D platformer focused on speed, movement, and fluidity. The game
Yeah.
is set inside a giant black hole known as the Ultra Void, which has been consuming everything in its path. You play as Ray, a daring Void Runner who has decided to venture into this terrifying anomaly as a last-ditch effort to save her homeworld. Ray is extremely agile, able to speed across the world with abilities akin to skating. On the ashen clouds, she can quickly cover great distances in our huge world. At its core, Solar Ash is a game about movement, and Ray has everything she needs to flow through the dangerous and unique.
Oh, look at her. Look at her go.
Interesting.
This reminds me of like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Yeah. It's got a heavy speed platformer feel to it.
Yeah.
As you journey to save your planet, you'll find yourself face to face with grotesque and violent creatures.
It's interesting.
Our combat system is simple, fast, and fluid.
I think there's some frame rate
Players
issues.
encourage flight.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's
As
just
you explore
because
the Ultra Void, enemy encounters will scale to greater and greater sizes. Some of these creatures require speed and precise timing to defeat.
and maybe this is a live demonstration of it, as opposed to like just a video they prepared.
Ray will eventually
Look at the dragon.
face the massive sentinels of this void. Wretched, starved beasts that hold the key to her quest.
And you gotta run up. Ah, a little Shadow of the Colossus, huh?
Yep. My thoughts exactly. That was pretty cool. It's like a
Solar
platformer.
Ash is Heart Machine's vision of the adventure platformer. The giant spaces, the feel of movement,
Adventure
flow of
platformer,
combat,
yeah.
and the high-stakes battles atop enormous beasts all come together to bring players something we think is incredibly unique, and more importantly, fun. This game is a labor of love for everyone on the Heart Machine team. We're excited to bring Solar Ash to PS5 and PS4 later this year.
2021.
Okay.
So no official release date, just this
If you're
year.
a fan of scary games, this next one is for you.
Resident Evil? Resident Evil?
Oh,
Hell no.
this is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Pathetic. But now, you want more. Are you ready?
Yeah. Yep, it is. Fazbear Frights or whatever it's called.
Yep.
Oh god.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
I hate animatronics so much. Animatronics and whatever you call those things in like shopping malls.
You and me together. They won't stop hunting you. None of them will stop hunting you.
Of course not.
We have to get you out by
Oh
morning.
no.
You will do as I say. You will bring me what I want. And if you fail me, then you will. Both of you burn!
Security breach.
Security.
What's going on here than you realize?
Uh-oh. That's an evil looking...
That's pretty cool. That's
I
the name.
That was a
Yeah, security
chilling new
breach.
look at Five Nights at Freddy's security breach. Up next, let's take a tour of Oddworld Soulstorm.
Really? They keep
Hi,
pushing
I'm
the
Warren
series, even though I think
creative
it's
director
kind of dead.
World Inhabitants.
Yeah.
Today, I'm going to take you on a brief tour of our newest game, Oddworld Soulstorm.
They've always known you would come. Do you know why you have?
In Soulstorm, you reprise the role of Abe, accidental hero turned unlikely leader of an emerging revolution. As you do battle through
Is he a turtle?
and wonderful environments in an effort
I don't know
to
what the hell
escape
he is.
the all-powerful and eternally greedy.
Any
Colossus.
thoughts on this versus
We really wanted to
Nintendo?
bring this world to life with what we call
It's already better.
platform.
It's about equal to me. I don't really care about anything so far. I don't care about anything so far.
This sense of connection is also
Except for Sifu.
reinforced through the
I'm
use
hyped.
of DualSense's haptic feedback, as you'll now be
Security
able to
breach will be
feel
fun to
Abe's
watch.
heartbeat in high alert and
I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's. Maybe I should try it.
There are well over
As long as
1,000
they had, like, a
dockets
multiplayer.
that you must try to save along the way, but they are far more than helpless workers looking to be saved. When used effectively, you'll be able to solve puzzles.
It's like
with
Pikmin.
combined energy.
It's like
and be
Pikmin.
given the tools they need to fight alongside you. And there will be times when the extra hands will be needed as you face off against an array of heavily armed enemies that will stop at nothing to find and end Abe once and for all.
Uh-oh, he deaded. Uh-oh, he deaded.
In order to stand a chance against this much larger threat, we gave Abe the ability to scavenge, loot, and pickpocket items from his surroundings and use them to craft an impressive arsenal of his own that he can share with others. You can also play as a non-lethal pacifist or an agent of chaos. We wanted you to have the choice. But there is one iconic ability for our shamanic protagonist, Possession. This mystical power allows you to take control of your foes and use their strengths and weapons against them, or use them to gain access to paths still ahead. The Oddworld universe is a diverse place, and this means that there are some environments and situations that require a little more thought, patience, and stealth. You'll find dark and dangerous caves, heavily guarded industrial sites, and ancient forgotten lands. Here, we've built lots of opportunities for you to test your skills and find different ways to handle things. It won't be easy. If being hunted by an army backed by a shady and wealthy organization isn't bad enough, there are also more dangers in the forms of natural obstacles, ancient traps, trials against swarming dark creatures, and industrial hazards that must be dodged and avoided. Ultimately, Abe's journey.
I do like the variety of environments being shown here.
Narrative to discover in a world full of lies, and we've been able to bring our characters to life like never before. In true Oddworld fashion, your actions in-game will decide the fate of Abe and all those you manage to liberate along the way. And we can't wait to see what you will do.
Oh, that's sick.
Anyone need to show up their roster with games that need the whole release?
That was the latest on Oddworld.
That one's
Soulstorm.
questionable.
And here's some exciting news. Active PlayStation Plus members will get the PS5 version for no extra cost starting in April. PS5
that's not
version
good.
for no extra cost starting in April.
That's not good. That's not a good sign.
Oh,
Moving on, it's time to catch up with Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Yes.
A gorgeous
Yes.
new adventure we last saw in the June.
I'm so glad I drafted this game. It's coming out like next month, so I need to short my roster. I need to short my roster, so I drafted this. I thought it was unique enough.
I mean, it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an animation studio doing all the. Well, it's an animation studio's first video game.
Nice.
Which is the weird thing. That's why it looks so pretty.
Mm.
I'm just concerned about gameplay.
The rats seem quite fond of you. They're usually timid. Something tells me you did not come to our village looking for forest creatures.
Hello, Spirit. I seek passage to the Sacred Mountain Shrine.
Our village is bound.
I'm getting like Avatar vibes from this.
But that power fades along.
It's like Korra season 2.
Yeah. Kind of looks like it. Okay.
So this is a trailer. This isn't a showcase here. This is a trailer for sure.
Yeah.
Trapped spirits.
That's beautiful. Beautiful shot.
It's very pretty, but I am wondering how long this game's gonna be.
I think it's gonna be pretty short. Looks like it.
Yeah, that's my concern. Like, it's gonna be like a
10-hour game, maybe.
10-hour game. Hopefully.
You have to go now.
The vehicle part is next. I wonder where the vehicle part in this game is gonna be.
Ride on an animal, of course.
The vehicle part is next. Can you find all the eggs?
Oh shit, she got a mask.
Uh-oh. She will fall into the darkness.
I'm not gonna lie, I am excited for the sequel for this game.
I was just about to say that. Like, this will probably.
August? I thought it was March!
Nope, August 24th.
That's really good. That's a good sign.
First-person shooter developed by the team at Arcane.
Arcane, huh? First-person shooter.
Deathloop.
Oh, Deathloop. Oh, yeah, Deathloop, yep.
I wanted this game to come out so bad.
Did you draft this? Someone drafted this.
Bring it, baby.
I had this game last year. I think Chunky has it.
This is Ramblin' Frank's
Let me see.
matinee. This little ditty goes out to the handsome asshole trying to break our loop. Gold. The visionaries are ready to dance. Are you?
Yeah, Chunky. Chunky has it. Second pick. Expand your mind. I don't got room to expand my mind no more.
I mean, it looks like an interesting game.
I'm just noticing a lot of like rogue-like games nowadays. I don't know, maybe it's just me with Hades. But this is a rogue-like for sure.
Wow, they got their own song.
Yeah, this theme song gives me a very James Bond vibe.
This sounds like Snake Eater.
Yeah, that too.
Grenade!
You're doomed! Somebody's feeling feisty.
kill is always new.
I play this.
And so is Ramblin' Frank. The rest of you motherfuckers are next.
When does it come out?
Why? This year.
No, I know it's this year, but I wonder if they have a date here. No date, huh?
Before we leave, how about a huge update for one of 2020's most celebrated games?
Don't care about this.
Final Fantasy, let's get it.
Give me a break.
Jesse! Barrett!
Where you been?
Tifa! Help me!
Come on, let's push it past the red line. Now it's my turn.
Oh! It's Axel.
Like Axel's cousin.
Reno, right? It's Reno, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Reno.
Well, guys, your girl finally made it to Midgard.
Yuffie? Oh my god!
Wow, Yuffie.
My name is Yuffie, materia hunter and elite special forces operative for the new Wutai government. We'll prove to our common enemy that Wutai is not to be trifled with.
Oh shit!
Members of Avalanche, we got this.
Wait, isn't she in Final Fantasy 7?
Yeah.
Here you are.
Why you assume?
What took you?
Sorry about that.
Not this early or
Nice
what?
to meet you. I'm Sonon Kusakabe.
It's not in the game.
Oh.
It's like a DLC or something.
We'll be okay though, right?
Dude, this hype.
Well, of course he will.
They're the ones who blew up the reactors. Cool. Should we say hi?
Oh shit.
No, better not. After what they've done, you gotta assume Shinra's on their tail.
Look, a Moogle.
Stop! We gotta help.
Oh my god.
Oh, she's playable.
Let's get it!
Wait, is this Kingdom Hearts now? Is this Kingdom Hearts now?
Bro, I've been telling you, the remake has been Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
I've been telling you to play it.
The remake changed the battle system up, and it's kind of Kingdom Heartsy. It's actually better, in my opinion. Like if Kingdom Hearts took cues from Final Fantasy VII Remake and like played the same way, I think it'd be much better.
They deserve what's coming to them.
Yeah, they do, but I'm not your sister.
There you are.
Who are these jerks?
No clue. It just appeared.
Wow.
Intergrade.
Right.
Now, let the hunt begin.
I don't know who that was.
Is that a new character?
I don't know.
Maybe there are any new characters in.
No, they're definitely adding
New characters?
Yo, I can't tell.
It's more detailed. The PS5 is more detailed.
I mean, it's still really pretty either way.
I don't see it.
Oh, they fixed the skyboxes? Oh no, it's the textures. Textures I know was a big thing. And the PS4 version, it was kinda...
Look how shiny it is! Wait!
Yeah.
Spoilers.
What the heck? Dancing? Dancing?
Yeah, they had a dancing minigame during this part of the game. Yeah, the textures and lighting have been updated. That was one big complaint with the PS4 version. No, but the problem was the skybox on the PS4 version was really crappy. Like, those buildings in the distance look like a painting. That was a big issue. Now they actually look like buildings in the distance. Quality of life.
Quality of life already?
Not surprising.
Yeah.
Okay, so graphics and gameplay. Oh, classic difficulty.
Well, loading times are definitely gonna be better. It's just better regardless.
Better off. Yeah, it goes to PS5.
Like, I've watched the videos of Persona 5 Strikers, and like they track the loading times between the two.
Is it better on PS5?
Of course. Oh yeah, a lot better.
Oh, cool.
Now you can now you can you know, take a picture of
Yuffie.
I mean, if it's like Kingdom Hearts, all you have to do is just mash X, right? Just mash X, right?
It's harder. You should play the demo. The demo's pretty good.
Just mashing attack will get you messed up.
I have to say I'm very disappointed with this state of play so far. I'm pretty disappointed. I think it's on par with Nintendo's. If this is the last announcement.
I think this is.
I think it's going to be the last announcement.
Yeah, this is probably.
I'm pretty disappointed.
That was the reveal of Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, coming to the PS5 console later this year. And that's our show. We hope you're as excited as we are for what's to come in 2021. See you next time.
PlayStation. 2 more minutes? Is that it?
No, I think that's probably it. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed. I think most of the stuff we already knew was coming, and there's nothing I really care. I know you guys probably care about Final Fantasy VII, but there's nothing in here that I really care about. I think the most interesting thing to me is Kenna.
Hey Kagros, can you? I'm gonna replay the video, but can you mute the video on your end?
All right,
and then
sure.
we'll just talk about it.
All right, give me 1 sec. Yeah, okay.
So I wrote down a list of games that were shown. I don't think I have all of them, but I just want to go down the list and maybe we can talk about them. So like, first one obviously is Crash.
Yeah.
Anything? No? Just, a little appetizer?
I mean, if you didn't get it for PS4 or Switch, which is coming to 2 as well, and you somehow got a PS5, sure, I guess get it on PS5. Okay. Like, I common theme in a lot of these games is like a game that was originally on PS4 now coming to PS5 with updated graphics and maybe some tweaks that people complained about on the PS4 version.
So first of all, IDK, what did you hear before you watched this with us?
I got spoiled on the Final Fantasy VII thing.
Of course.
Okay.
I saw literally. I was going through my YouTube, like updates. Like it shows me like a bunch of little like stuff on my laptop, and one of them was like Maximilian reacting to Final Fantasy VII. And I had a picture of like Yuffie, and I was like, they're gonna add Yuffie to fucking Final Fantasy VII.
That is why you don't go to YouTube.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's on you. That's on you, IDK. That's on you. That was on you.
I did it though. The thing is, my laptop automatically does it on Google Chrome. It's just like all the updates I have from people uploading videos just pop up as like a stream of like clickable links. And so it was there. I was like, oh.
That's why you don't have YouTube on, okay?
Yes, that's on you.
I didn't know everything about it. I was like, oh, there's Yuffie. Okay.
That's a pretty.
Big one, that sounds like a pretty big one. Like looking at Juicy's expression, that's pretty surprising.
We'll get there. So after Crash, we had Returnal. I think Kagros expressed some interest in it. Maybe I think.
Which one would Returnal? Yeah, it looked okay. It was just it is like you said, like it's a roguelike, right? And it's interesting, yeah. But it's like IDK said, it'll be determined on how how the replay system works, and like it looks pretty hard. So I probably wouldn't play it. It just looks interesting, but I like the concept, but I probably would not play this.
I would definitely want to see someone either do a playthrough of this who's really good at Dark Souls or something and like could use those skills to get through this game quickly without too many repeats. But yeah, my biggest concern would be like dying here and then having to reboot the whole map, and like how much did you explore? How big are these maps you're having to rerun through that are being procedurally generated to be brand new each time? Like that's cool.
My assumption is that whatever you get, you keep when you come back to life.
That's what I hope.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I don't think it's playing through levels.
That's how Roblox work, but you know, with like Hades, you go back to the land of the dead and like, oh, you died, welcome back, and it makes sense why those things are there, kinda. Whereas this is like, okay, you're on an alien planet, and there's obviously some sort of weird time loop happening. How are the things you're collecting from the first time loop getting warped back in time with you?
Mm-hmm.
Alien magic,
Yeah.
I guess that's what it'll be.
I
Or,
think
whatever's going on here.
Sorry, go ahead, IDK.
No, I was gonna say maybe it's like there's storage pods you can store stuff into.
No, I mean, it looks like when she dies, she just wakes up. She wakes up again. It could be that she's a clone, and then when she dies, all that data gets uploaded to the next body, and then comes back. I'm just guessing. That's a pretty common sci-fi trope in my experience.
Yeah, I think with that, I think story is very interesting here. I'm actually a little skeptical on the gameplay, but with the roguelike, I do think you can design the story that fits that gameplay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. After this one is the breakout game, the
dodgeball
game.
The dodgeball.
Any thoughts on this? My thoughts was Knockout City. I just thought that there should be a Mario Kart Battle Royale game. That's all I could think about.
I think if you like I kind of got like a little bit of like Rocket League kind of, but Rocket League is actually really technical. And it would deter, and that's what makes it fun, right? It's really technical. I don't know how technical this game is. It doesn't look like it's too technical, and it looks like it's just this. It's just a first-person shooter. That's what it's a third-person shooter. That's what it looks like to me. Like ultimately, that's what it boils down to. So.
I think this thing lives or dies on the fact if it's free to play or not. Because as it stands right now, I wouldn't be interested in putting money down for this. Because it's something that I could see myself playing for a little bit and then getting bored and like never touching it again. But if it were free to play, that's not really an issue. It's like, okay, I'll hop on, I'll play a couple matches, maybe I enjoy it, and then I'll go do something else, and then I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
I think the map they've shown us is interesting enough. You know, 4 pipes across the map, pretty common. The new weapons. That football weapon looks like it'll be pretty annoying, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like you're standing there, and all of a sudden you get sniped by a football to the head. Like, yeah, man, I can't even stand in this game. I just get sniped.
I'm happy that they're having a beta on this game, meaning that they can get a lot of feedback on it. Like, just watching from this trailer, the first feedback I would give is just make the movement faster. It needs to be faster. It's very slow, and that's what makes me a little nervous about this game being competitive or even being fun. Because right now, like, you just move kind of slow. I don't know.
I mean, I think for a shooter, the movement's pretty good. It's pretty solid. The movement. If I look at this as a third-person shooter, I think the movement is pretty quick. They move a lot faster than most third-person shooters. Maybe.
Okay. Attacks seem like they have to be slow enough for an enemy to react to, so that you can have outplay moments. I see that game as being like a segue for people who play sports games to start playing different types of games. Like, it's technically a sports game because it has a dodgeball in it, but it's more of like an FPS. Yeah.
Next game here is Sifu, which I'm super hyped about. You know, like, gotta represent my peoples here. But what do you guys think this game is?
I think, to me, this game looks bad. I feel like if someone drafted this game, I counter draft it. I counter draft it immediately.
see him beat up a bunch of people, and then he gets sliced by a sword and just ages. He becomes older, but he's in the same spot. And then we see him going to a different location, beating up people, and then...
Maybe it's like Assassin's Creed? It's an Assassin's Creed kind of game? Assassin's Creed...
There's emphasis on aging. He keeps getting older, like, he becomes a Sifu, like a master.
Yeah,
So, again, I think because of Hades... I'm pretty sure Hades didn't start all of this, of course, but I'm pretty sure this is a roguelike game where you die, you come back alive as an older person, you have all these skills, and you just fight through the same thing again. That's my impression.
I mean, we'll just have to wait and see if it's what the price is and if the story is any good.
Yeah.
Kagros, I'm willing to bet some money on this. If you think if you're willing to put this as your counter pick, I would bet you that it's above 70.
I would have to see more. Based on this trailer that I just watched, the game looks really bad. But if this is just the first trailer, it could be anything. We don't know anything about the game. I would not be willing to put money down for it. But based on what I saw just from that trailer, I think that this game is below 70 for sure. The graphics are terrible. I do not like the art style at all. It looks really dated.
I would bet against that in some way. If I could bet against that, I would 110%. So you come up with a bet if you want to bet on it.
No, I don't want to bet on a game where I don't know that much information. Like I said, just on looking at that trailer, I would not be confident in this game at all. Just from that trailer, but I would be remiss to place any kind of bet whatsoever on this game, not knowing all the information.
You know, speaking of confidence, the next game we're watching here is Solar Ash. At one point IDK mentioned that there's some Shadow of the Colossus type of gameplay where you climb on beasts on bosses and just that grand scale. What do you guys think about this game?
So if I remember correctly, this is by the same developer who made the was it Shadow Drifter?
Yeah, something like that.
It's like really popular adventure 2D adventure game, I think.
Yeah.
And it actually did pretty well. So I'm kind of excited for them to be branching off into like 3D with this game. And I think it'll be a good game. I don't know if I would get it immediately, maybe when it's on sale. But the gameplay itself looks fine. It's sort of a fast-paced platformer. And you're scaling the beast here. One of the dungeon bosses, I'm guessing. I just don't know if this is the only world you're going to be in, though. Because they only show us this world. Are you advancing up this meter they showed us, where the bar goes up every time you beat a boss? You're stuck in the same world looking for more bosses?
So I'm very high on this game. I am considering drafting this game. I'm going to do a little more research, and I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to place a bid on this game. FYI, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty high on this game.
I know a lot of people are really excited for it because I'm hearing the name get pushed around. I just don't know if it's coming out this year or not.
Yeah,
say 2020.
Yeah. Like I said, I have to do the research, but I am heavily considering placing a bid on this game.
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Because I would personally do it as well. So you might see some competition.
Yeah, I'm not. I would not be surprised because I think just for the art, the graphic style. What's the right term for it? The art
design.
Art design, yeah. I think that's immediately scores high. Basically guaranteed above 80, in my opinion. Just from and then my biggest concern would be the simplicity of the actual simplicity of combat, because they said in the trailer, the combat's pretty simple, but how simple is it? If it's just one button tap as you get near the enemy, then that might sound pretty boring. But if there's just a little more complex than that, then I think it should be okay. It doesn't have to be too complex because it's primarily a platformer, but I think there should be a little bit of skill involved rather than just, oh, I'm next to the next enemy, I'm just press X and then it will automatically attack it for you or something like that. I don't know. My biggest concern is just how simple is the combat. Because like you can platform all you want, but if the combat's actually too simple, then the bosses might not be fun. Or otherwise you'll be like just, or maybe the challenge in the bosses is just like Shadow Colossus where you have to basically scale the boss.
Yeah, that's a really good observation, and you're asking all the right questions. IDK, you have any thoughts before we move on?
No, you covered all the points. Solar Ash looks pretty good. Excited for it, I guess.
I just rewind. I just went back on the video because the next video is Five Nights.
Yeah.
Freddy's Security Breach. We all haven't played it, like Kagros said. But, you know, like, this gives me... Even though, what is it? Phasmophobia?
Phasmophobia, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's giving me those vibes. And
No, this game is scarier than Phasmophobia, in my opinion. But maybe to me, because I'm so good, I play so much Phasmophobia, I'm not scared by it anymore. But I feel like this is scarier because it's animatronics, like IDK said. It's like it's like if you went into like a huge haunted Chuck E. Cheese's, right?
Yeah, and like, so like I've never played any of the Five Nights at Freddy's games, but I have watched people play them. I've watched like pretty much all of them, and literally that first game gave me night terrors. I was so like I was seeing shadows of the animatronics in my house in the corner of my eye. That's how scary they were. And that's the thing, like some people say like Five Nights at Freddy's isn't scary, it's cheesy and stupid. For me, it's horrifying. Because I had nightmares as a kid of the animatronics I'd see at Chuck E. Cheese's. So for there to be an entire game series about crazy animatronics trying to kill you, yeah. So this looks pretty good. Scott Calhorn is the guy who does these games. Super big credit to him. He basically started this whole series off of a review from a game critic who called his animations and characters creepy and woody. And he was like, alright, fine. You want to see creepy and robotic? I'll show you creepy and robotic. And it was going to be his last game. He was going to make that game and quit. And then Five Nights at Freddy's blew up and became super popular. And now he's just pumping them out. That game, if it's actually coming out this year, I might draft it. I'm pretty sure it'll be decent. I don't know if it'll be a 90... But I'm pretty sure it'll be an 80.
It will not be a 90. It will not be a 90. I don't think so.
It'll be somewhere in the 80s, I think. Because, like, it looks like it's going to be his first foray into, like, a 3D open world game. But, just from what we can tell, it's like a kid trapped inside, like, a huge...
I thought it was security guards. I thought it was 2 security guards.
I believe there's a scene where it's, like, a young kid looking at a giant panel of, like, security cameras, and they're all going berserk.
Oh, okay.
So I think the story's probably going to be like a little kid sneaks into this place or stays after hours, and the security guard's like, "No, what are you doing? Don't go down there." And she's going to be the voice, that female voice you hear telling you what to do, how to survive. You can get out of there before dawn, otherwise you'll be killed. Which fits totally in with the series lore, which is cool.
And then
moving on,
multiplayer too, right? I can see some multiplayer.
I don't know if there'll be multiplayer. I don't know if Scott can do that, but we'll see. Like, if he's gonna deliver a multiplayer game, I guess this would be the time to do it. But we'll see.
Yeah, no, and I'm happy to talk more about it only because this game that we're watching here, Oddworld, it's just too odd. Like kind of what Kagros said about Sifu being kind of ugly and just having that type of sentiment. I feel the same way with this game. It's just like, I think the gameplay looks really interesting and it seems like there's a lot of variety, but the game just looks so ugly. Like, I just can't.
I think it's because it's a platformer. In my opinion, I feel like platformers, like the 2D platformer, or we should call it the 2.5D platformer, right? I think it's pretty dated now. The design is pretty dated. Like now, all the platformers are like Solar Ash, right? Where they're open world, 3D platformer, right? This sound looks a little dated. I think 2.5D platformers are generally relegated to like indie games. So
right, but I think there's definitely an audience for this because otherwise, why would they make it?
exactly.
There's the Oddworld series, people love to death and are begging for more games, and these guys look like they've really done their homework. From at least from what I know of Oddworld, like they're weird, they're funky, they're kind of nonsensical and the stuff going on in it, but there's a reason for it all. So,
Yeah,
I'm not out there are really excited about this game and are super happy to see how good it looks for them. So be it. Like it's not a game I'm going to get, but if they're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Odd. This is the first time I've heard of Oddworld before, so I'm not familiar with this at all. So
it's an old series, like
yes, it is coming out
this year.
You want to shore up your roster?
I don't know if you would put this on your bets, but you know, it looks good at least. I mean, the cinematics look pretty good. The graphics in game do look a little dated, but I don't think it'll be that much of a detriment.
The next game I'd rather talk about when it comes to being optimistic is Kina. I think they said Kina.
Yeah. Bridge of Spirits. The Bridge of Spirits.
Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah.
This looks like an animation movie. It's
Yes.
just whimsical, very beautiful. But we did have some questions about the gameplay. I think, I think you two mentioned that maybe it's a short game for some reason.
It's a short game because because the budget went to the animation. That's why.
I would say, like from what I've heard and what I've researched about this game, like it's being made by the animation studio who is known for doing like just animations. This is their first game, so I would expect them to do a short game, and I expect them to do simple combat, and that's basically what we saw. The cutscenes are very good, the art's very pretty. They're hitting their strong points. The story seems kind of interesting just from what you're seeing in the cutscenes. And look at that! The background that's beautiful.
I mean, I'm getting like
there could be a very interesting lore here that we'll get to dive into, but it's a lot of.
You know what this game reminds me of? You know what it reminds me of besides Korra Season 2?
What?
I think this is very reminiscent of the basically Ocarina of Time style.
Oh.
The Ocarina of Time style, basically pre-Breath of the Wild Zelda games. Twilight Princess as well. The game, at least gameplay-wise, that's what it looks like to me. But I don't think the world will be as open as like Ocarina or Twilight Princess. But I'm still getting...
No, I would definitely say this game's giving me kind of God of War 2016 feels. Like hub world with multiple stages you can go to, maybe you can explore around in, or this will be more of like a Uncharted game where you go from one stage to the next and you advance the story that way.
Yeah, it looks like this is a dungeon here. This is a dungeon. So that's what I'm kind of feel like. Like you said, there's like a hub and then different like levels or whatever dungeons, right?
Yeah.
And then the mask at the end.
Yes. Maybe this is Majora's Mask.
You see here this kid with the light basically getting absorbed by evil spirits? I don't know, he's just piecing together this demonic beast. And then she fights against it. And the combat is a mixture of melee and ranged.
Yeah, so like I said, like Zelda, I'm getting Zelda vibes. The OG Zelda.
Yeah, it looks like the spirits are mainly used for puzzles because there weren't any spirits in combat.
Yep.
She didn't have a little army of like guys following her around that she could use. It was just she's fighting, and then when she gets to like a temple or a puzzle, the little spirits pop out to help her. If it's a Zelda clone, cool. I mean, if you do it well, it'll be fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
If it's short, then it'll probably end up being a game I get on sale. Or when I get a PS5. Same difference.
Alright, looks like Deathloop.
Yeah. Deathloop. This is the second to last game. I think Kagros said that he's interested in this game. Like, you would actually play this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I needed more details to determine that. But it looks pretty good already as a shooter. I haven't played a first-person shooter that's not a battle royale in a long time. So maybe this will scratch that itch. It really looks interesting.
Why don't you go play Doom Eternal?
No, hell no, dude. That's a PvE. If I'm gonna play a first-person shooter, I want to do PvP. I want to kill people and assert my dominance.
I want to say it's interesting in this. So far, we've seen, like, in the trailers for this game, it's always been these two. The main character, I don't know his name, this guy here who just died, and then that black chick. And, like, it seems like there's a big focus on them, especially from the last trailer we saw. But in this trailer, we literally see him just straight up murder her and kill her. And at the end, he's like, I took care of these two motherfuckers. You all are next. Like, so how important is she going to be for the story if you keep hyping her up in these cutscenes, if she can just randomly die while you're playing?
I think there's an army of both of them and they're killing each other, I believe.
Right, but there's also other ones too, like the guy in the suit with the...
No, they're all I would say they're all the same. Or maybe there's henchmen, there's mobs, but then basically I think the two, they're just in a loop killing basically copies of each other over and over and over and over.
Yeah, you kill her here.
Yeah.
Then she's gone. But then, like, this person, who's that? There's got to be another person you have to kill, right? Because then she shows up on these orbs.
Yeah.
I think there's multiple copies of each of them. I think
there's this guy, some lab dude who probably is causing the loop to happen. And then there's this dude here. That guy right there.
Oh, interesting.
Gun. It's like, well, you can kill him, but does he? And then he says he comes back. So I guess they all come back when you die, maybe?
Who knows?
I don't know. The loop is what makes me most interested. Why are they killing each other? Why does this loop have to keep going?
Again, I think there's another roguelike, but I think the interesting thing is that you get to play more than just those two characters, like what Kagros is saying. But I also think that each character will probably have their own unique path or storyline. So, and then you can replay those storylines over and over again. So who knows? It could be really interesting.
Could be. It's gonna be kind of scary though when, like, you're playing and then all of a sudden that character, like, shows up and, like, I'm gonna kill you. It's like a nemesis system kind of, because like, you keep killing them, they keep coming back, and they're trying to get revenge by killing you back.
You know, last but not least, we have Final Fantasy VII, and obviously right now, what you're watching now, like, okay, they're gonna have a PS5 upgrade version. It's gonna look prettier. It's gonna have, you know, better FPS. But we have this special surprise of Yuffie, which I was shocked because I was thinking, oh, is this episode 2? Is this the next, like, episode of this remake series? It looks like it looks like a DLC.
This is Square, dude. This is Square. This is basically Chain of Memories. It's 1.5, dude.
They called it an episode you get when you upgrade to the PS5 version. So I'm wondering if this means this content won't be available to PS4 users. It's gonna be like
no, but okay, I see. Never mind. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It said at the end, like, it's a free upgrade for PS4 users to PS5, and you get this episode when you upgrade to the PS5 version.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if it came out on PS4 as well.
I would hope so. It'd be kind of to have the PS4 version and not be able to play this new DLC, I guess.
So we see that we have Yuffie. This is a DLC, of course, it's a DLC, but I'm pretty sure for fans of Final Fantasy VII, the next unlocked character, or the next character that you can unlock would be Vincent, right? And going by this trend, we'll probably get Vincent on the DLC, unfortunately. But at least that's something we can look forward to. Now that we have Yuffie as a DLC.
I mean, it really depends on what their plan is. Like, how long is this episode? Is this like the final boss of the episode right here that we're seeing? Like, facing this giant centipede tank thing? And at what point in time does this episode take place? Like, we already saw that one cutscene where, like, Cloud and company are dealing with, like, the ghosts or whatever. And Yuffie's like, oh, there they are, let's go interact. And the guy's like, no. We're obviously not allowed to interact with the main story. We have to go a different way and do other stuff that doesn't involve the main cast. So, if they're going to do that for Vincent as well, I mean, they could. But I feel like Vincent's going to be saved for the actual next sequel. And of course, there's this part. I have no idea who that character is.
It's a new character.
I mean,
it's just anime.
It's Nomura. He's going to add his own stuff. So
That's going to be the new Kingdom Hearts character.
You know, the thing that really perked up my ears was when Kagros said that this looks like Kingdom Hearts. And that's exactly what it is. But personally, I made this comment, which I guess you didn't really pick up on it. Like, when the demo came out, I was saying that, hey, Kagros, you should play this game because it's very much like Kingdom Hearts, but, like, for gamers. No offense. Like, I think the combat is actually pretty hard. You can't mash X, but it still plays like Kingdom Hearts. And I do want to get your thoughts on this game if you ever do decide to pick up this game, Kagros.
Yeah, I have no plans on playing Final Fantasy VII at all.
And why is that? Is it just like the story, or is it the game?
Well, I mean, you guys already told me that this game is you'll miss out a lot if you never played the original Final Fantasy VII. And I have not played any of the the only Final Fantasies I played are 3 and 4. So, yeah, I have no intentions of playing this game. And I honestly can't... I don't feel comfortable supporting Square when it comes to Final Fantasy or Final Fantasy VII Remake, because they are definitely milking the shit out of this. And and as a result as well, they have forsaken some of their other content, of their other franchises, I should say. Thank God the Royale Ends With You is finally coming out, but I still stand by that. So I refuse to play Final Fantasy VII Remake in any form whatsoever.
IDK, once you get your PS5 this summer with your Ratchet and Clank bundle, are you gonna buy this game?
No, there's no bundle for Ratchet and Clank and PS5, unfortunately. Insomniac already confirmed it. I was really desperately hoping finally this would be the year Ratchet and Clank would get a special PS5 with the game's release, but no, there isn't. There isn't even going to be a physical collector's edition. There's literally only a digital deluxe. That's it, which kind of sucks. But yeah, like whenever I do finally get a PS5, it's tempting to pick up this game, especially if I can get the Yuffie DLC bundled in. But at the same time, like, I wouldn't cry if I didn't, because I watched someone else play through all Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I know that person's gonna do it again probably, and play the Yuffie DLC. So I'll just get to see it anyways. And you know, you never know. There's a deal. It's on sale. I'm always down to snag it.
Actually, I have one other question for you guys. Have you guys played 15? Final Fantasy 15.
I bought 15 on release, foolishly. So I have like the day one release edition. Played it for about 13 hours. And then my copy of Persona 5 Vanilla showed up. Edition.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, 15, I'll come back to you. Like you were okay, you were kind of fun, but Persona 5 time. 435 hours later, I didn't play Final Fantasy 15 anymore, so it just sat there. Poor little box, and the game just sat there, never touched. And then Maximilian played Final Fantasy 15 Royale Edition.
So
that has, yeah.
Final Fantasy 15 combat system, is it also like Kingdom Hearts? It's like action. Is it an action RPG? I think that's the right term for it.
Yeah.
Or is it turn based?
It's no, it's not turn based. It's like Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
It's like Final Fantasy VII Remake. Final
Okay.
Fantasy Remake basically takes the bones from Final Fantasy 15 and makes it much better.
Okay.
Much better.
Yeah, cause that's what I figured. I was like, I'm like, Final Fantasy 7. Is it like Kingdom Hearts? I feel like they would take whatever was the most recent Final Fantasy battle system and then kind of use that instead. So.
Like the battle director, I guess you could say, from Kingdom Hearts 2 worked on Final Fantasy 7 Remake. So they took like the battle system from Kingdom Hearts 2 and then modified it with what they were doing with 15 and then added some new stuff for 7 Remake. Makes it
Sorry, go ahead. You can finish.
I think makes it the best battle system Square Enix has created to date. Like, I seriously hope the battle system they made in Final Fantasy 7 Remake makes the leap to Kingdom Hearts in some way or form, because it was that good. Even in the demo when I played it and I decided like, yeah, this game's great, but it's like not for me, because it was pretty hard. It was pretty challenging.
What
I think.
What about 13? 13 was turn based, right?
13 was ATB, yeah.
It was turn based, right? Yeah.
And you could stack actions.
Yeah.
Was unique at the time, and people still think it's unique now, but people really don't like 13 because of the whole iffy story and basically being locked to a corridor chaser for like 25 hours, 24 hours.
That's the worst part of the game, but the gameplay was fantastic. Platinum.
I remember you platinum 13. Wow.
Yeah.
I remember watching my siblings play 13, and they really enjoyed it. I was like, eh. But you know, it has its fans, it has its haters. I think classic 13. Yeah. I was just gonna say, I think the problem with the 13 series is that it's a series. I don't really think it was necessary to have 13-2 and 13-3 Lightning Returns. It really should have just been a one-off. That way they could have focused. That way they could have focused on 13 versus before it got turned to 15, and Agito wouldn't have been released with such lack of fanfare, because that was supposed to be a pretty good game too, but it just kind of came out under Tabata's direction. That was like the first game he directed, and then he got handed 15 after Nomura got pulled off. So
that's why I did not like. I think Square at that time was they were trying to milk 13, make spin-off games. You know, they were trying to milk it. Like I said, that's the direction Square has been going for a while. I mean, you can just look at Kingdom Hearts. They milked the shit out of Kingdom Hearts, right? They've been milking the shit out of. They've been milking the shit out of all of their main franchises, right? And basically, so that I'm very salty. I'm very salty about Square Enix because, like I said, they let the World Ends With You rot, and thank God we finally 15 years later we got our sequel. But like they've just been milking the shit out of their main franchises and forsaking their secondary franchises that other people might, you know. I'm sure there are other franchises other than The World Ends With You, but there are definitely other ones that I feel like they've left on the wayside that probably deserve more attention.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's stuff like Parasite Eve and some other smaller series that kind of have niche fandom, and they just don't really seem interested in bringing back.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
is it Breath of Fire? Was that the series they have? There's some famous like fantasy RPG series they have that like they haven't touched in decades.
I think that's Square
Not
Enix.
Breath of the Wild.
Or that's Enix.
Yeah, and, like they have games they could pull out and make remakes of. That's like Trials of Mana.
That's Capcom.
Like they
sorry.
pulled that.
Wait,
that's Capcom. Yeah. So, like,
is Chrono Trigger? Is Chrono Trigger Square Enix or that Capcom as well?
It's Square.
Oh, okay.
That's Square. Yeah. Like I don't know. I think it's definitely
I mean,
an issue with like, Square Enix definitely has corporate that's basically telling them we need to make money, so make games that make money. But there may also be an issue of like the people who made those original games that we want to see sequels to just aren't in the industry anymore, or they're not working for the company anymore, so they're not there to push and cheerlead for a game for that series.
Well, with The World Ends With You, the team got pulled to work on Final Fantasy, so...
That's the thing. I totally agree with your anger at Square Enix for deprioritizing The World Ends With You, because it was an amazing game, a promising series that was on fire. It's still been on fire this entire time. People still love it and still talk about it. And they basically just sat on their hands and were like, 13 needs like 2 more sequels, and we need to do like an Agito spinoff, and 15, we're gonna have to like build that, or 13 versus, that's gonna take them 15, and then they had to rebuild 14, and they have all those stupid mobile games that no one really liked.
I mean, like to be honest, like I think if they weren't trying to milk the shit out of Final Fantasy, they wouldn't have. I think Kingdom Hearts would have been done a lot better. Because they were basically delaying Kingdom Hearts, right? Because they wanted Nomura to work on the other shit, right, as well. So they kept... They kept churning out all this crap. But, I don't want to keep wailing on Square Enix. Capcom has the same problem as well. It's not just Square Enix. Capcom does this shit too.
Capcom has shown promise. I mean, they brought back Monster Hunter from... what I would consider the grave. Like
no, but Monster Hunter it's always been a popular franchise in Japan. Not here in the West, but it's always been.
That's what I was gonna say. It's always been a popular franchise in Japan, but even in Japan, they were kind of like slacking on it. Like their previous release hadn't been that good. People were like, "Well, because the Vita died, there's not gonna be any mobile Monster Hunter games anymore." And then they came out and were like, "Bam, Monster Hunter World, baby!"
Yeah.
Like, and it's gonna be on everything. PS4, PC. I don't think it's on Xbox. But,
it's on Switch, though. It's on the Switch. Most importantly, it's on the Switch.
And they hit it out of the park with that, and they supported it. Monster Hunter's back, baby. Devil May Cry. That series kind of gone dormant too. Like they put that remake that no one liked. DMC5, boom, and it hit it out of the park, and that's doing good too. Mega Man, they made a new Mega Man game for the first time in like forever.
Oh my god, yeah, they killed Mega Man.
They killed Mega Man. They
literally killed Mega Man. That's why
included the series.
Marvel vs. Capcom, dude, that's how you knew for sure. Marvel vs. Capcom was how you knew, no Mega Man.
All their big series were coming back in some way or another. They had a game, and they were gauging interest, and they were listening to fans. I think the only genre they're kind of lacking in is fighting right now, and they're making strides to fix that.
I know, but they were milking Street Fighter 4 for a long time.
Oh yeah,
they were milking that shit for a while. Okay. But 5 was shit though, right? Wasn't 5 shit?
5 came out and was bare bones, and they've since updated it and made it better. They're doing their best they can. And you guys remember Ono, the guy who was basically in charge of the Capcom fighting division for Street Fighter? He's gone. They kicked him to the curb. He left, and now Street Fighter 5 is taking on a new life, like, because obviously Street Fighter 6 got delayed because Ono got kicked. And now they're like bringing back Dan. Just released Dan, and they're going to bring back Akira from School Rivals, right? Rival Schools. And like they're doing a bunch of cool stuff now that guy who was basically keeping them clamped is gone.
Well,
so Capcom at least is expanding, and also there was the leak. I keep going on this.
Okay, there's one main counterpoint. As much as you were praising Capcom, the one counterpoint where that obliterates all of this is Phoenix Wright. When are we getting a new Phoenix Wright game, dude? What the frick?
Haven't you heard the leak? The Phoenix Wright investigations is going to come to the West.
I don't care about that. I want Phoenix Wright 7, dude. Who gives a crap about the spin-offs?
Dude, going back to the Britain land, hang out with Herlock Sholmes, you know?
I don't care!
The new game they're making that basically couldn't come to the West because of Sherlock Holmes' rights. They're finally going to bring it, hopefully.
I don't care, dude!
You're waiting for Phoenix Wright 7, or whatever it is.
No, I don't care, because like, Capcom has basically gave the bull, like 5 years ago they get the bullshit excuse saying, oh, Phoenix Wright doesn't sell what in the West, so we're not going to translate it anymore. So they had to do all these fan translations on the Miles Edgeworth games, and then like they didn't release, and I guess now they're going to do it. But
Miles Edgeworth 1 sucked. Okay, I'm going back through it again, and actually it's not as bad as I remember it, but there's a reason why it didn't sell. It's sad that 2 improved so much, but it wasn't released in the West. That's how it goes. The fact of bringing those Japanese-only games, finally bringing them to the West, I mean, it's not confirmed, but basically Taiwan just got a...
No, I mean, only reason why they're bringing it now is because they don't have to do physical releases anymore. They can just do digital releases. Like,
True.
They didn't even release Phoenix Wright 5 or 6 in physical copies. They just did digital only. There was Nintendo eShop only. So, like, yeah, anyways,
I mean,
let's not get off. Let's not get back. Let's get back onto the state of the play.
Folks, I want an episode of this where everyone's pouring out these salty minds, because you two have a lot of salt in you, and we need to detox. Okay, so we'll have an episode where we let out these salts for Square Enix and Capcom. But I do want to say, the last word I would say is that don't let Square Enix ruin you from experiencing Final Fantasy VII. As someone who has watched the game and has known Final Fantasy VII, I think you will still enjoy the remake. And this might let you even explore the original game because it's that good. But, that's the state of play that it is. So, I just want to kind of bring it back to the Nintendo Direct that we've watched probably last week. Any comparison with that? Or what's their thoughts on the...
They're equal. I don't think either of these were impressive at all. Like, actually, so Nintendo, they did announce new things that people weren't or they announced new things. I think the only new thing announced in the state of play that we didn't already know was the Final Fantasy VII interlude, right? I think that was the only thing that we didn't really know about. Everything else we already knew about, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, right?
There weren't any... Well, I mean, the dodgeball game, I think, might be a new announcement.
No, it's not. I think it was announced before by something. But they said in the trailer that they talked about it previously. So
I hadn't been paying attention to that. But
so Kagros, all of these games, I would say almost all of these games have been announced before, but everything that we've learned through the state of play is, I would say, completely new. Thinking back about Kenna, thinking about Deathloop, Final Fantasy VII, Solar Ash, which we probably heard from, I think it was from the Game Awards, maybe? But I think from this state of play, you of course learn new information about...
Of course. But there were no new announcements, whereas Nintendo had the reveal of the Smash Fighter, the Smash DLC, which, that's DLC, and people were expecting... So, like, before I watched Nintendo Direct, I talked to Tonka and her friends, and I was like, okay, there's going to be one big reveal at the end, and it's going to be one of two things. It has to be either Diamond / Pearl Pokemon Remake, or it's going to be Breath of the Wild 2. It has to be, right? There's nothing else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so they actually ended up saving the Pokemon, and for the announcement tomorrow. So tomorrow, I don't think we're doing an episode on it, but in tomorrow's Pokemon announcement, I fully expect the unveiling of the Diamond / Pearl remakes coming tomorrow. Maybe not we'll release this year, maybe we'll release next year, but I think they're going to announce it tomorrow for the 35th anniversary. 35th? No. 25th anniversary. Zelda is the 35th, right? Zelda's the 35th.
Yeah, I think so.
There's a bunch of 35th ones. There's Zelda, there's Metroid, there's Star Fox.
So anyways, Pokemon's 25th anniversary, like, there's no way they're not going to announce the 4th generation remake. So that's why. And then literally Nintendo was like, the Zelda director came on. He's like, I know you guys are really hyped up Breath of the Wild 2, but we're not here. But we have nothing to talk about that right now, and we're developing it still. But then talk, and so we're going to show you the Skyward Sword, and then all of us are like, oh my god. And then one of her friends like, oh, but I played Skyward Sword. You guys should play it. And I'm like, oh. It's like your mark, like your banner announcement is a remake of a game that didn't sell well, and it didn't sell well because it was the Wii U, or the Wii.
It was on a Wii.
No, it was Wii.
It was the controls. No one liked the controls. No one liked the controls in the game. But but it was really just.
Well, we can argue this point. We can argue this.
No more arguing. No more arguing.
Yeah, no controls are absolutely fine. People were just bitching because they don't like having to move their fucking hands when they're playing. But I get it though, because here's my point. I think this state of play, even though it was less games revealed and it was shorter in time than Nintendo's, this reveal made me far more excited for the future of Sony games.
Mm-hmm.
And there are actually games in this reveal I'm actually interested in
I agree.
playing later. Nintendo one, I don't give one flying fuck about Skyward Sword HD because it didn't look that good. I played that game and beat it. It was fine on the Wii. But I still have it on my mother.
IDK. Are you telling me you don't care about Mario Golf?
I love Toadstool Tour. It has a place in my heart. But what I saw was not Toadstool Tour. It looked like a fucking mobile game thrown onto a Switch. Okay, it looks so. If they show more stuff or more interesting things,
there's a story mode. There's a story mode. Did you know?
I don't care about story mode in my Mario Golf. I want interesting characters, interesting courses, and I did not get that. Okay.
I was telling Tonk's friend, have you guys ever played the original Mario Golf? There are so many original characters in the Mario Golf 64.
I mean, that's where Waluigi came from. That's why Nintendo hates him. He was made from a golf game.
Really? Was he from Mario Golf? No, he was in Mario Tennis. He was in Mario Tennis. I know that.
Everyone designed him. He was from either tennis or golf was his first appearance. They made him. Nintendo didn't want him, but he was there. That's why they've constantly sandbagged his ass for eternity. They don't want to deal with him. So.
Okay. No. So I think you guys are forgetting one thing. So I'm looking at the Nintendo Direct announcements. So the Splatoon 3 was very disappointing. I did not care about that. That was supposed to be another headliner. There was Monster Hunter Rise, Mario Golf, and then I know this game Juicy is excited for, Project Triangle Strategy from Square Enix. That's to me. I got Fire Emblem vibes from that. I was just pretty down on the graphics, but I think I agree with Juicy. I think Project Triangle Strategy was the best game in that show in the Nintendo Direct. The one I was most excited for. Everything else, Outer Wilds, that looked interesting, but that's already out on Steam anyway.
Yeah.
And then they have that detective game. I forgot what it was called.
Yeah.
It was a remake. It's a remake. I forgot what it's called. And then Neon White, which I think is Battle Royale. I
got that game.
Yeah. You added it to your roster, and then Travis Touchdown, which that's the one I thought was the Rocket League. That was the one that was announced on the Nintendo Direct, and then everything else is just Oh yeah, so Knockout City was announced on the Nintendo Direct, just as I thought. Knockout City was there, and then World's End Club, and there's. I agree with IDK. I think I was more excited learning about these games on State of Play than I was watching Nintendo's. I was just so underwhelmed. Really,
I think the biggest nail in Nintendo's cross for that Direct is Eiji Onuma appearing and saying, "We're sorry, there's nothing here." Basically, because they have to do that, otherwise fans would get pissed off. I understand why they did it, but doing it by itself pisses the fans off even more. You literally, all you have to really do is after this thing occurs and people are like, "Well, where's Breath of the Wild 2?" Then you have him come out and be like, "Yeah, you know what? There's nothing to show. That's why it wasn't in there." And that's it. Just a press release. Don't have him show up and bait people into thinking there's going to be something to talk about when there's nothing to talk about. You just cold open Skyward Sword.
I'm actually very surprised that they announced Breath of the Wild 2. Because, like, if you look at Smash Ultimate, right? They announced that Smash Ultimate, like, a couple months before release. So I'm very surprised that they released Breath of the Wild. We drafted someone...
Well, it's not fair to say that because they announced it in, I believe, 2019. And then with 2020, of course...
No, I'm well aware of that. But, like, Smash Ultimate was announced, like, a couple months before. I think...
What I'm trying to say is that Zelda could have came out last year. Who knows? But because of the quarantine, that just kind of put everything on pause.
I
do think that Nintendo does show off new games and have the intention of releasing them within the year. But because of the quarantine, I think that just kind of threw everything to the sidelines.
But recently though, most of their games they've announced them, and the day between announcement and release is pretty short, I would say, especially with their major titles. So I think even if they did plan to release Breath of the Wild last year, they still announced it too early for a Nintendo game. Like they announced it in 2019. Like we drafted it last. Someone maybe I wasn't one. No, I drafted it. The speculative pick. But like I even if it were to come out, like I think it would have come out at the end of the year had quarantine not happened. There was no way releasing in the first half of 2020. So I still think they announced it way too early. And like I said, Nintendo, they don't really push back their dates. That's why they now that's why they always announce their things, you know, within the release window. Like it's pretty yeah. So because they don't have to advertise, they don't need to get the hype train going, right? Because like you just throw up Breath of the Wild 2, coming out in 3 months, and everyone's already hyped already, right? And the hype just goes through the roof, right?
The West are rabid. So any more Nintendo fans, you can't say anything bad about Nintendo, otherwise they'll jump down your throat and try to kill you. I think I'm gonna take a step back and just simply ask this question to you guys: was it necessary for Nintendo to do a direct at this time?
No.
They hadn't done one in over a year. The last one was in September of 2019, and thanks to COVID, they basically hadn't done one since then. And I think the difference between this State of Play and Nintendo's Direct was that State of Play had things to show. Were actually of significance. And I get this is downplaying like Triangle Project, whatever. And
Triangle Project.
And Splatoon 3, like those are probably big games for people who actually care about those things, but it's not enough. It's not enough. This is Nintendo. We expect a Zelda game. We expect a Donkey Kong game. We expect a Kirby, F-Zero, Star Fox, Metroid, Mario.
IDK, no. Metroid's not coming out. IDK, Metroid's not coming out. It can't come out because I picked it. It's not coming out.
You have big franchises, tentpoles.
You said the keyword, Metroid.
People have followed for decades, and you come out with a Direct, first one in a year, and the only thing you have for those tentpoles is a Skyward Sword HD remake for $60 that doesn't look like it's worth $60. People can buy the game for $50 right now for Wii, or even lower, $20 in your classics for Wii U collection. Like, what are you doing? Do you just not care? And that may be the thing.
They don't care, dude. Dude, Nintendo doesn't care.
Made a whole bunch of announcements and like, wow, we actually have a lot of announcements for stuff we want to talk about. Let's just throw about Direct. They have stirred the pot of their fandom so much. Any little action they do now is put under a microscope and scrutinized. Like, is this announcement gonna have a secret in it? Like, we have to like study the footage and see like there's a little Zelda in the corner. Like, that's Zelda Breath of the Wild confirmed, like coming out this year. Like, they did this to themselves, and now they're gonna be scrutinized and ridiculed for anything they do. And
I mean, Nintendo has been, you know, on, they've been under fire because of the whole Splatoon thing, right? You know, and a lot of their recent their draconian policies about, you know, streaming their things and stuff like that. So, but
releases.
I don't want to, you know, I don't want to jump on the Nintendo hate train here, but just like you said, you know, they did. Their problem was the fact that they had to do the Pokemon 25th anniversary thing. I think, like I said, I do expect a big Pokemon announcement tomorrow, and had it not been like an anniversary thing, I think that would have been the banner, the headline for this Nintendo Direct. Like I said, I was fully expecting the Diamond Pearl remakes, and I think that could have been the headliner for the Nintendo Direct if they grouped it together.
You know, I think you brought up a really good point where I think we definitely need a salty episode, because it's quite contradictory for you to somewhat be accepting of Nintendo when they're just the milk factory. I think they're the biggest milk factory of any factory out there. But we'll save that for.
Okay. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely, they are definitely the biggest milk factory. But okay, I'm not gonna say anything else. But there are things that they do that the other milk factories don't do, which I think are a lot less predatory. Like just to give you an idea, right? Give you an idea. Nintendo doesn't come out with a game called Nintendo 2.5, right? They don't come out with 2.5, 2.8, 2.9, 3.14. You know, they don't do that shit.
Another argument. They came out with something called Star Fox Zero, and it sucked.
Okay. No more about salt. This is about PlayStation only and State of Play.
Better play, infinitely better.
Anyone who wants to listen to these two fellows rant about these companies, join us for next time. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about it next week. Do look forward to it, but other than that, any final words about the State of Play? Just the State of Play. Please, keep it PlayStation only.
Well, okay, we're gonna keep it PlayStation only. I haven't touched my PlayStation in a while. TBA, so I am on the hunt for a new game. I have been debating, and unfortunately, I wish Canon was released next month, because I would have bought it. I would have bought it and I would have played it, definitely. So unfortunately, it got pushed back to August. So that, you know, I'm sad now. You know, I had drafted the game to basically get some puntos for my roster. I think I am one of the. Am I the one of two people that's currently still at 0 points on our league? So I'm definitely interested in Kenna, the Bridge of Spirits, for sure. I think that's probably the one. Even if the game is short, it does look beautiful. You know, like I said, I'm getting like OG, you know, Ocarina of Time feelings from that game. And unlike Darksiders, I think the game it's a lot more prettier. It looks a lot more fluid too. So, and then Solar Ash looks pretty interesting as well. But yeah, just like we said, you know, the State of Play, it got me more excited about their games than the Nintendo Direct did. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's nothing wrong with Kenna Bridge of Spirits being a short game. Like, that might actually be a good thing in its case, where it doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't drag you along like a very slow, boring plot. It's just like boom, boom, boom. You get through the game in like 12 hours. You're like, wow, this was a great experience. I'm glad I bought this game. I don't know if it'll be worth the full price, but that'll be the experience.
If it's not $60, if it's less than $60, it's an auto buy in my opinion. Even if it's short. If it's like a $30 or $40 game.
Then yeah, it'd be an auto buy, I think, in my opinion. But considering it's Sony, I'm hoping it's not $70. I'm really hoping it's not $70.
Oh yeah,
like Ratchet.
I have a lot to say about the $70 price tag, but let's not do it in this episode.
That can go to another time. But for me, I don't know. Everything here was kind of exciting, kind of cool. I mean, in terms of like a state of PlayStation, I think it's pretty telling when I decide the best game for me to play right now is on the old console PS3. Like a game I can't play on my PS4, I'm playing on PS3.
Oh yeah. One more thing too. Since we were comparing Nintendo Direct to the State of Play, I think it's really telling as well. I think COVID had a lot to do with these lackluster previews, because I like we were saying before we started this, I was expecting a AAA announcement here, in this, and we didn't get it. So I think the COVID really has impacted a lot of the development schedules. So I was praying for a God of War Ragnarok release date, but yeah, we didn't get anything about that.
Yeah. Our little guesses here: Sly Cooper, nowhere to be found. No new Infamous.
Yeah, I think we were all wrong, right? We were definitely all of our crazy things were wrong.
No Master Chief, unfortunately.
I think it's definitely okay to have really outrageous wishes. Fellas, it's still the beginning of the year. It's the end of February. I think for this type of state of play for a video game direct, I think this is appropriate. I think the bar will be very high come E3 season. I think everyone will be amazed. So, don't jump off the train yet. We're still on the hype train. It's going very slowly, but it'll get there. You get to the destination. You get your God of War.
That's another thing to discuss. Maybe we should just throw all these discussions into one episode next time. E3, is it still going to happen this year?
No.
Should it still happen?
It's going to be digital. I think it'll just be digital only.
That's what I mean. Like digitally, because wasn't it
maybe the
free
question
or whatever?
is
how relevant is E3 now that we have all these
the question
state of play
is what does E3 look like this year? What is E3? What is E3?
Yeah.
So
there's going to be announcements in the summer. I think that's the next one we should be looking forward to. The announcements in the summer, because that's when they're going to announce everything that's going to release in the second half of the year.
That is the caveat with the Nintendo Direct, though. If I have to come to the defense of Nintendo for one thing, they did specify this Direct is for everything that's coming out in the first part of the year, besides Splatoon 3, which is like their future project. I imagine there'll be more to talk about in another Direct in the summer or beginning of fall. I will give them that. If it becomes August and there is nothing, I will become Bowser myself and burn Nintendo down.
I
will spew my anger.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that personally. All right. So, anyways, we had a very eventful and salt-filled episode today. Thanks to our viewers for watching us ramble about completely useless things. No, maybe not so useless. I know. Both Juicy and IDK are very hyped about Final Fantasy VII, as they should be.
It's not useless. It's just a little unrelated to the state of play. But that's totally fine because that's the state.
I mean, when we're a gamer, right? You gotta look at the big picture. It all interconnects, right? Like how we feel about one company affects how we see another. It's all one big ecosystem. So, anyways, if you're watching this on Twitch, thanks for watching. Give us a follow. If you're watching us on YouTube, feel free. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And also, just let us know what you think about the PlayStation State of the Play. Were you hyped about it? Were you as down as we were, or were you what got you excited? What did it? What were you expecting to see? Did you have the same guesses that we did, or was something completely different? So, anyways, I guess our next episode, we already know what our next episode is. The salt mines.
Bring on the salt.
We're going to open up the salt mines and just let the salt flow. So, anyways, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Yuffie, baby.
Yeah.